Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Our course material is also available for Hindi medium students. If you know a learner from Hindi medium, please share it with them. The link for Hindi medium lessons can be found in the bio of this video. In the last part, we learned how did the East India Company expanded its trade in India, and how did the conflicts between regional Mughal rulers and the Britishers lead to the Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey took place on June 23, 1757, between the Bengal Nawab Sirajuddaula and the British East India Company, under the leadership of British officer Robert Clive. Sirajuddaula became the Bengal Nawab in 1756, after Aliwardi Khan had died. After becoming the Nawab, Sirajuddaula started rejecting free trade and other privileges to the East India Company. This brought tension to the company, as they wanted to work with a puppet Nawab, who could give a free access of performing duty-free trade to the company. To remove Sirajuddaula from the throne, company officials started provoking his rivals to become the Nawab of Bengal. Sirajuddaula got infuriated on learning the company's strategies to remove him as Nawab and captured their factory at Qasim Bazar with 30,000 soldiers. After Qasim Bazar, he marched to Calcutta to overtake company's fort and charge his control there. When the company officials in Madras got to know about the loss of Calcutta fort, they sent naval fleets as reinforcements on Robert Clive's command. After failed attempts of negotiations, Robert Clive defeated Sirajuddaula in the Battle of Plassey. The battle took place on the banks of Bhagirathi River on June 23, 1757. One of the major reasons for Sirajuddaula's defeat in the Battle of Plassey was that one of his governors, Mir Jafar, did not send his troops to back up the Nawab in the greed to become the new Nawab of Bengal. The win of Battle of Plassey was registered as the first major victory of the company in India. Aftermaths of Battle of Plassey. After the battle, Mir Jafar was made the new Nawab of Bengal. But this did not solve the situation completely for the company. They were still feeling restrictions to perform trade as per their will. Their concept of puppet Nawab was not completely fulfilled. When Mir Jafar protested, company dethroned him and made Mir Qasim the Nawab. When Mir Qasim complained, company defeated him in another war, the Battle of Buxar in 1764, and reinstalled Mir Jafar as the Bengal Nawab. For this, company made Mir Jafar pay 5 lakh rupees per month to finance company's operations. The East India Company still had no vision of ruling the Bengal region, but they wanted to flourish the business and stock more goods at the cheapest price and make more money in England. After the Battle of Plassey and Buxar, their inventory of gold reserve was nearing to empty, and they had left with no gold to buy more goods from India. Mir Jafar died in 1765 and company realized that, merely by helping people to become Nawabs will not expand their business territory. Hence, they thought to come as allies with the new Nawab and became Diwan of provinces in Bengal. This meant that the company made terms with the Nawabs and started participating in the overall governance of the province. This way, they did not have to pay taxes and gradually started ruling over the people in the province as well. In addition to it, becoming Diwan helped company to increase revenue collection and sponsored their operations and wars. East India Company comes to East. After registering its first conquer on the Indian land in the 1757 Battle of Plassey, company expanded its trade operations in India over the next 100 years from year 1757 to 1857. However, to evolve their Indian territories, company used its political, economic and diplomatic approaches to take control of the Indian kingdoms. After defeating Mir Qasim in the Battle of Buxar in 1764, the company started appointing residents or officials in the Indian provinces, whose job was to serve the company interest. Those officials then began interfering in the internal affairs of the kingdoms, like who should be the successor of a kingdom, and how to operate the administration. Subsidiary Alliance. Company also introduced a business term called Subsidiary Alliance, wherein the Indian rulers were not allowed to have their own armed forces, rather, they were to be protected by the company. In return, they had to pay for the subsidiary forces. However, if the Indian ruler would fail to pay for the subsidiary force, a part of his territory would be seized by the company, as penalty of failing to pay for the force. For example, in 1798 when Richard Wellesley was the governor of the East India Company, he forced Nawab of Awadh to give up half of his territory as he failed to pay the subsidiary force fees. This was the new expansion of company trade, to make money from the Indian rulers.